What's up, y'all? Welcome back to my podcast. So this is my ultimate review of MMPR Once and Always. So if you don't want to hear any spoilers, I will advise you to not watch this video. But for the most part, I'm just doing an ultimate review. For those who have not seen Once and Always, I'm talking to my viewers, and I know they've reacted with me, but I'm talking about the newer people who have subscribed to this channel that have not watched the special on Netflix. I will advise you to go check it out. And if you don't want any spoilers, do not watch this video. So we're going to start things off with a quick thought. Because as I've stated in my previous reaction video that I loved it, I enjoyed it. I think it's one of the best anniversary specials Hasbro has ever done in terms of bringing back original cast. Most of them are missing, but at least they did what they could to make the best of it. And I am forever grateful for what they've done, and I really appreciate everything they've done for us, and that's saying something. So we're going to start things off with the characters. Now, the OG Rangers, Zach. Zach is pretty much the ultimate MVP of this special because Walter Jones, once again, has brought this character to life. Because of his charisma, he felt like Uncle Zach that is looking out for men after Trini's passing. Like I said, if you don't want any spoilers, do not watch it. So it turns out that Zach was a congressman. And if you read the Go-Go Power Rangers comics, you will know that Zach was studying to be a politician. But in this special, he pretty much stopped doing all of that because he wanted to look after men. So he pretty much became her legal guardian. And that makes a lot of sense if you ask me. So at least we know what the original Rangers been up to. So the moment with Zach and Min had a heart-to-heart moment in the command center, I felt like I was watching daytime drama because of the music. Zach said some things that really hit hard for me in this film. I can't remember, but I have to go back and watch. But he said some things that really made me realize that we all have mentors in our lives that taught us anything. Just don't take them for granted. And the part when he said something about seeking revenge is gonna lead to any horrible situations, because sometimes when the person did us wrong, the best revenge that you can do is rebuild yourself. Find happiness in life and trying to make the best of it instead of seeking revenge against that person that did you wrong. Because we all had people in our lives that did us completely dirty. Do we wish we did them wrong too? No. So the best thing for you to do is just pray to God and just seek guidance and be successful in your mind. And so that way you'll be able to achieve so many life goals in your life. That is how you get revenge. Not by violence, not fighting, but moving forward and rebuilding yourself as a whole. And plus, he did his hip-hop keto thing. Walter Jones has not missed a step. He hasn't lost a step. He still got it. He still fights like he did 30 years ago. I'll never forget the moment where him and Billy had an argument in Trini's house, trying to figure out how they should reveal the truth to men about her mother's death. Zach he really carried this special. And if they're going to do a part 2, I want them to come back. I want them to come back because this was easily the best anniversary specials because of those two. Zach is the best character, hands down. Billy Cranston, he has been through a lot because he brought back Rita by accident because him and Alpha were trying to bring back Zona, but the energy that came from the tube was from Zonon's particles that wiped out the evil from the Z-Wave. But the evil spirit from Rita's were still out there. And so she came back as Robo Rita due to her getting inside of Alpha 8. So now we know why she came to be and how she came to life. And if you watch the anniversary special, it's there. And all of our questions were answered. The part when men blamed Billy for her mother's death, you felt his pain, and he kind of blamed himself because Billy has always been the weakest fighter since Mighty Morphin, but if you look at Billy and Trini's past relationships, you would know that she's always been there for him, saving his life, always speaking for his techno babbles. But if you watch the second episode of season 1 of Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, you will know that Trini had a fear of heights. And if you watch that episode and if you see this moment in Once and Always, you will always knew that Trini was always there for Billy because the two of them were very close. As you can see on the show and in real life too, behind the scenes, wisely. Billy in Once and Always, he had a character arc and he grew once he came back to Earth to create Cranston's technology, which he recreated the command center. And so Billy, for the most part, he was a star in this as well. Like I said, I think the moments where him and Zach were at Trini's house trying to break the news to men. And David Yost, you can tell he hasn't acted in years, but he still got it. He still got it. So Billy was a cool character in this as well. And not to mention, he was the one that brought the Zords together. He was the leader in this special because of the trailer, the promos, images, you name it, it's all there. Now, Rocky, I know people don't like the character. I thought he was fine in this special. He was handled pretty well in Once and Always, like he did in Mighty Morphin and Zeo. Though I would prefer for him to stay as Zeo Blue. But I think in Once and Always, he was handled much better, in my honest opinion. So now we know why he was a firefighter, you know, just trying to do something productive with his life, even though he's still eating like crazy. So if you watch season 3, I think you will know that Rocky loves food. So that's pretty much how he came back in Once and Always, with a gut, eating Chinese takeout and stuff. So it makes sense. Kat, I didn't really mind her at all, but at least we know what she's been up to as well. Helping JJ in his karate class. And I like the part when she said that even 30 years later, they still sound like angry turkeys, which is true because the putties always sound like angry turkeys. I thought that line was pretty funny as well. So she was a good Pink Ranger, and it's the fact that she used a pterodactyl and she was screaming pterodactyl in her morphing call for the first time. She never used the pterodactyl coin in season 3 or 2 or 1. But in Once and Always, she got to use that coin. And if you hear her when she said that she was looking forward to this, driving the Dino Megazord for the first time, you knew that she was looking forward to this, besides using the Zeo and the turbo power stuff. But I didn't mind her as Mighty Morphin Pink Ranger because it makes sense. So Kat was pretty cool. Men, I tell you, was an interesting character. I know some people say that Charlie Kurtz's acting was probably the weakest points in Once and Always, but I think we look at it from the perspective, this is the first time acting in this special, so let's not go down on her just yet. I mean, maybe if they were to bring her back and the entire cast back for a part 2 or a mini series on Netflix, I think they might have a bigger budget going. when it comes to the guy in the Megazord costume, which I'm going to get to that towards the end of the video. Min as a character wanted to seek revenge against Rita after what she did to her mother. She's an interesting character, blaming Billy for her mother's death and holding a grudge against him, even when she gets caught fighting the putties at Angel Grove when Zach teleported her in the command center. And she apologized to Billy towards the end for blaming him. And I like the fact that Billy admits that he never told himself 100 times over the years of how much he messed up and how much mistakes he's made. But the moment when they show the clips from the Mighty Morphin episodes, like a flashback in Min's eyes, that was like one of the best moments in that special. Just paying one of the best tributes to Trini Kwan, the character. And it's obvious to me that you knew that she was going to become the Yellow Ranger. Though I did find it a little bit more cringe when she said it's Morphin time out loud. You could tell she was smiling, but yeah. You knew that she wanted to become the Yellow Ranger from the moment she grabbed the Morpher. Wanted to keep the Saber-Tooth Tiger legacy in the good hands. And she was a rock star in this movie. Her using the power daggers just like her mother. Easily the coolest character. Alpha 9 was pretty funny. Alpha is still being Alpha. Nothing new. Robo Rita, I love Robo Rita to death because Barbara Goodson has done an amazing job as Robo Rita, because unlike the TV show doing her original run all the way up to In Space, she has never fought the Rangers in combat, face to face. So the fact that she was able to do all of that in Once and Always, it blew my mind, because in the comics, she fought the Rangers in person. In the video games, she's fighting the Rangers. But in Once and Always, we finally get to see her in action, fighting Billy and mopping the floors against him. Rita is pretty much one of the ruthless characters in this special, and I absolutely love it. I love it a lot. So Robo Rita was definitely the coolest character in this film. The Megazord, however, I had some issues with it because of the CGI. Simon Bennett did say that they did not have the budget or whatever to have the guy in the costume to recreate the Moon Palace for them to have an epic Megazord battle. I mean, I love how they recreated the Zord scenes when the Zords coming out of their hiding places, like the TV show, but they remade it and they make it look cool. The CGI on the Zords, they look fine, not perfect. However, when the Megazord come together, it looks like a PS1 graphics, and the CGI on the Megazord, I wasn't really feeling it. But I like how Billy was controlling the Megazord, piloting the Megazord, being the leader, summoning the Megazord. And I forgot to mention one of my favorite lines from Billy when he said, "Come catch these hands." Billy has never been this edgy in the original show. A couple of times he has, but in the special, the writers and Davey Yost and them went all out. So the Megazord was probably a letdown in the special, and hopefully when they do a part 2, they could just somehow have a guy in the costume instead of the CGI. And the Zords were inspired by the Zap project, so it makes sense. I mean, the coolest looking Zord was probably the Saber-Tooth Tiger. Everyone else just looked fine, but the Tiger Zord looked pretty cool, in my honest opinion. And I do love the ending when they did a tribute to Jason David Frank and Dory Train. And it was an episode of season 2. It was something about a monster that uses a guitar as a weapon to fight the Rangers or whatever though. But I like how Kimberly was singing a song and the lyrics just hit you really hard mentally, as a nice way of paying a tribute to both actors that we've lost. That was a bit of emotional run. So yeah, that is my ultimate review of Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Once and Always. I highly recommend y'all to go check it out. It is that good. It's not perfect, but it's good. So I'm going to give it a 4 out of 5. And if you guys enjoyed my ultimate review, let me know in the comments, and I'm holla.